Yo, what's up, everybody? I don't know if it was just me, but that intro seemed really long today for some reason. But okay, what's up, Ash? How you doing?
How are you? How are you?
I'm
Good to be
doing
here.
good.
Good to be here.
Glad to have you here, of course. What's up to the people in the chat? So you know this is Night Talk with Biggerford and the Widow, Ashley and Nzo. And before we start, Ashley, tell them about your channel, please.
My channel is The Widow, and I talk about pop culture. We have discussions. We do review discussions. Got to get back on doing some of my videos again, but always a good discussion, reviews, breakdowns, theories, all that crazy stuff is what I do.
Absolutely. Great channel that she has there, guys. What's up to the people in the chat? Hayden Nate Poe is in there. What's up? So first we're gonna start off with the Matrix trailer since Ashley didn't see it. Are
No, I
you a
did
Matrix
not.
fan?
I enjoyed the first two quite a bit, and the third one not so much. But I'm excited to see what they're going to do. But it's not like I was hyped for this. I couldn't wait for it. But I'm excited to see it. You know.
You're better than me because I like the first one and then the other two, absolute trash, like garbage. I couldn't stand them. Were there some good things in it? Yes, especially the second one, the highway scene that was fire. But movie itself didn't do nothing for me, man. So we will get into the trailer. I know we got a couple people in here watching. I'm pretty sure you guys seen it already, anyways, and are interested in it. So let's see what we got. I watched it on my phone, so I didn't really get to see it really good, but I'll bring it up. Wrong screen.
Tis.
I know, eh? Messing
How
up
is
my
everyone? How are you, Blasted? Hey, Nate's here. Poe, David, Flash is here. Hopefully everyone's had a good day. Right? I haven't seen this trailer, which I've told you guys that already. But I'm excited to see what it's about.
and got it up this time properly. So here we go, guys. Let's check it out. Can you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thomas, you seem particularly triggered right now. Can you tell me what happened?
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams.
Am I crazy? We don't use that word in here.
Right.
Interesting.
One pill makes you larger and one pill makes you small. And the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall.
Time to fly.
And if you go chasing rabbits,
if you want the truth, Neo, you're going to have to follow me.
and you're going to fall.
The only thing that matters to you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting and why you will never give up. You don't know me. No?
This looks tight.
It looks pretty good, huh?
Mm-hmm. That looks a little silly, but
Yeah, I like it.
After all these years, to be going back to where it all started. Back to the Matrix.
All right. So what do you think?
I mean, I'm excited to see it. You know, it looked nice. The action looks good. You know, I like all that. We'll see how the story is. But I'm interested in it. I thought it looked the trailer looked good. So I mean, I can't really say anything bad about the trailer. I just hopefully the story makes sense and it's just not some silly thing that they're doing.
I agree with you 100%. To me, it looks like they're taking a lot of the beats from the first one, so which is the one I like. So I'd be okay with that. I'm definitely fine with what they do with it. Like I said, as long as the story makes sense, you know, LDG is flipping out. I'm pretty sure he has a video up or he's gonna put a video up for this Matrix movie, so he's excited for it. I'm just like, meh, I'll see it. You know, I think it's coming on HBO Max as well. So if it does, then I don't have to worry about going to the theater to watch it. So I'm good with that. I'm definitely good with that. So yeah, that was the Matrix trailer, but we had some other stuff that you wanted to talk about. So give the people a little jolt of what you wanted to talk about.
You know, thinking about like lately, you know, just we were talking about last week, what was the relationship topic going to be? I thought maybe we would have people on, maybe not, right? But you know, you ever deal in a situation, Anza, this is for you. Maybe you're in your relationship and there's these outside forces that try to insert themselves into your relationship. Like, you know, maybe by starting drama or giving an opinion where it's not needed. Have you ever been in a situation like that?
Back in the day, yeah, you know, used to have friends that thought they were looking out for my best interests and trying to stick their nose where they shouldn't be, you know, and it ended up being that the shit they were talking was bullshit, you know.
And how much did that affect your mind state, or maybe how you viewed it, or how you reacted to possibly whatever bullshit?
To be honest with you, I didn't really like. I was like, yeah, whatever, man. You say what you want, think what you want. You know what I mean? I didn't care what they thought about it because at the end of the day, I know what was true, so it didn't matter. Like I had friends that were going to other friends that we had and talking shit. Oh, this is what I heard and blah blah blah. But none of it was true, so I didn't even bother with it. Like I couldn't even fuck with that shit. What about you?
Yeah, it's just like you think that like as people get older that things like that wouldn't happen, right? But it's just like how old are we? Why are we still like operating like you're in high school and just doing things? Why are you trying to intervene in someone's relationship, you know?
When you don't belong there.
When you don't belong there, you don't even maybe understand the dynamics of a situation to begin with. So maybe what you're saying has nothing to do with their current situation or their current relationship either. It's just like I find it that, you know, people like to do that, and I'm just curious what makes them so invested in your lives and your relationships, whether it be a friendship or a comment that you'll make that has absolutely nothing to do with them, right? And somehow they'll then insert themselves into the conversation. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that? Like if someone makes a joke, right? You just make a joke, right? We're just making jokes and we're just laughing at jokes, right? We don't care who the joke's about. It's just a funny joke at the end of the day. And then someone then infiltrates that situation, right?
Mhm.
tries to make it be something bigger, right? And then it's always that, somehow the bully likes to then become the victim, right?
Mhm.
Right. And how do have you ever dealt with anything? And what would you say if you were in a situation like that, or just see
Um,
that type of thing play out?
well, one thing I would say is I think it has a lot to do with jealousy. The people that are trying to do that are jealous of the relationship that you had, so they'll do anything they can to try and fuck it up because misery loves company. But I just ignore it, man. Like, to be honest with you, like I had to tell a friend off. I'm like, listen, man, I know what you think, and that's not the case. But hey, man, if that's what you think, you can go right ahead and do whatever the fuck you want to think. I don't care because I know the deal, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I don't pay attention to what anybody says about what's going on in my relationship or anything like that. I just deal with it myself. And I always say if shit fucks up, then it's going to be because of the two people that are in the relationship, not because of an
Hmm.
outside force, you know?
Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. So, what about the second part? I'm asking you, and kind of talking about more of like um, having a conversation, right, where someone
Hmm.
might make a joke, right? You're making a joke here, right? And then someone then tries to blow that into, out of proportion, make it seem like you're, you know, talking about them in a undesirable light when it was just a funny headline. And then someone then else then who has absolutely nothing to do with that situation inserts them there, right? Because you
Hmm.
have past issues with another person here. How would you feel if you were in that situation, and what would you do?
Well, I would definitely defend myself, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, it's a joke, right? So people got to stop taking things so damn seriously. Like, I mean, I laughed at a joke that someone posted. Okay, big deal. What's the problem? But the other thing is that people that are injecting into it is because they have something with you. You know what I mean? They may not like you deep down or something. A lot of fake people out there that pretend like they're your friends and shit, but behind closed doors, they're fucking talking shit about you. So I've never really had a situation where I made a joke and someone took it like
I
personally
mean,
or
I'm just thinking
tried
about, like, I don't know if you've heard kind of about, Matt Jarbo situation.
no,
Regardless of
yeah,
how
yeah, yeah, yeah.
anybody
I know,
feels
I
about
know,
Matt Jarbo,
I know. That's exactly what
Matt
I'm talking
Jarbo
about.
made a joke, right? He
Hmm.
made a joke in a private conversation, right? That information then was put out there,
Hmm.
right? And it was then used as a tool from the other people on the other side to make it look like he was smearing and bullying this guy and trying to belittle him, right? When
Hmm.
they're using it because this guy is a fan of theirs, right? And what do you think about that? Like, yeah, he made a joke, right? It's not that
Hmm.
big of a deal in private
Hmm.
conversations. You know what I'm saying? He didn't call this individual out in a public setting. Um, there was something was he laughed, right? That's all it
Hmm.
was.
Hmm. And
Um,
you
and
see,
then and then when people take that and they make it bigger, what can we do to like stop that? Because it seems like people are so quick to jump on the side instead of like trying to maybe step back and look at everything around it, right? How that, in my opinion, is needs to stop, right? Because
hmm,
you can't base a decision without all the facts, right? If you
facts.
can't look at both sides of the situation, then you're obviously biased and leaning one way, right? So what do you think about all those people that are piling on Jarbo saying, you bullied this guy, you bullied this guy, right? And then this
Hmm.
other person who really, he's, doesn't want to be in that situation where he's made to look like that, right? So what do you think about that?
Think it's bullshit. Because people, like I said, people take things too serious, and I think these people are trying to cause drama because that's what they do, right? They love the drama, so it's like, oh, we can see this and we can twist it around. And I know what you're talking about, right? So that's what they do. They take narratives and they twist it and they flip it and all kinds of shit, and they just try to cause problems. And the fact is that they got a lot of people that following them that jump on the bandwagon as well. I don't know how to stop it. I would just ignore it. You know what I
What is
mean?
the
I would
message
just
that we can put out? That like not all one side is good, not all one side is
Mhm,
bad. One
absolutely.
side might be pushing something forward that's disgusting, right?
Hmm.
But people poke at them because the things that they say,
Hmm.
the platform that they have, right?
Hmm.
Same thing on the other side, right? Big platform, big mouthpiece, says things, and a lot of people don't like it. It's not what he says, it's how he says it sometimes that people don't like,
Hmm.
right? But he says a lot of real shit at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
And you're obviously just going to stick a label on somebody in a situation where they're not a villain, they're not being a bully. And, like I've always said, perception is reality. What
Facts.
can we do to make sure we cut that stuff off? Because it's easy to portray someone as a villain, right?
Hmm.
I know I've been there,
Hmm.
Um, and how in this situation can we try to make sure people are aware that really try to make sure you're engaging in everything, that you're not just looking at the one side? Because I know, especially here on YouTube, it's like the kickball. You got to pick a team, you got to
Hmm.
pick a side. And sometimes it's just like, why are we picking sides over dumb shit, right?
That's the
Too.
thing. We shouldn't have to pick sides. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And that's why I said, like, it comes to being a critical thinker, right? Yes, you
Hmm.
may hear something from one side and be like, oh, that sounds interesting. That sounds like it could be correct, right? But not everything that side says is correct. The same with the other side is. So you as people, we got to think for ourselves. And I find that there's a lot of sheeps out there that when they start following these guys and they feel that, oh, they say one thing that we agree with, then we got to agree with everything that they say. You know what I mean? And I think that's
Hmm.
bullshit. Um, how do I am I if I knew how to change the perception of people, I really would. I'm just at the point where I'm like, listen, I realize in life that no matter what I do, I could be the perfect person in the world, and there's still gonna be people that don't like me. So at the end of the day, you got to do what you do for yourself,
Hmm.
and if people don't like you, fuck them, and the people that fuck with you, then you deal with them. You know what I mean?
Yes, and
That's
I would say that if you feel that you have to like what somebody else is like to get their approval or their acceptance, um, that's a false preaching. That's false. You
absolutely,
don't want to be in that type of situation.
absolutely.
Free thought for all. If you like a film, because in so happens someone that you follow likes it, that's fine. But
Hmm.
just their words don't need to become yours. Their words don't need to
One hundred
become
percent.
yours just because, maybe you are able. And sometimes in YouTube, it's easy to interact with with the people from the chat or
Mhm.
subscribers with the content creator. So it's like even more so. It seems like in YouTube that they're so you know, willing to jump on that and pick that side. But remember, think for yourself. Don't and don't exist in an echo chamber, right?
Facts.
And make sure that just because you follow someone and you're a big supporter, maybe you be the number one fan, just because they say, "Oh, well, such and such, I don't like them." You don't need to pile on that person
Hmm.
and villainize that person, and take that on for yourself, because it's
Hmm.
not a good look. It's not a good feeling, and it'll just bog you down. And you're always going to be trying to, look for approval from someone else, and for what?
I
So they'll
agree.
like you and talk to you, or whatever. That's all I
And
want to say
and
about that.
no, and you're absolutely right, because at the end of the day, right? If you have an issue with somebody, that's your issue with them, right? I'm not going to be like, well, I'm not going to fuck with this guy because you don't fuck with him. You know what I mean? And if we're true friends, then you should understand that, listen, just because I fuck with that person doesn't mean anything against you. You know what I mean? It's nothing against you. It's just that I don't have the same issues that you have. And that's the thing with these cults, I'll call them. It's like if you stop agreeing with them, then they want to kick you out. They want to do certain things to you. They want to try and trash you. You know what I mean? And I was just like, this is bullshit. Like, I even had to comment. I'm like, yo, oh, this is not a credible person. And I was like, well, you're credible? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what makes you more credible than anybody else? We're all the same people around here. So I'm not more credible than you. You're not more credible than me. It's just that way, You just don't
I
get
get
along
that,
with them.
Mad's Mama Bear, but I'm not going to get into it a lot. I know exactly what was said, and really it was a joke.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I will say about that. It was nothing. I understand that it's a person, but regardless if someone said something hurtful to whoever, it should be wrong. But it was it was like a 2-second thing, a joke. That's it.
And the thing is, you don't know the relationship that the two people had, right? So maybe the other person seen that as a joke and started laughing and was like, ha ha ha. You know what I mean?
It was a private conversation was shared with someone and then made public is what happened.
Oh, okay, I got you. And the person that shared it made it look like that the person was making fun of the other person.
That's how he took it. I won't say he made it look like, because it was his friend, and he didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But so, and I'm not gonna speak ill of that person because that was his friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame you for telling your friend something.
Mm-hmm.
It's not him, and it's not the guy who was made fun of that I'm even really speaking about, or even Jarbo. I'm speaking about the other people who then took this on and used it on their platform, right, to villainize another person. Not the people, because I don't think that any of those three people are necessarily wrong in that situation. I don't blame a friend for saying, hey, here's this thing, because that's your friend, right?
Absolutely.
And you feel like that's your job as a friend. I don't have any problem with any of that. It's just then when it's used by, I don't even want to say the channel used, and then it's this big thing, and then they take it on and villainize someone and make it seem like that they were bullying this individual and like really just downing him to and all these things and that's not the case. It was not that type of thing at all.
It's just crazy to me. It's like
because I have firsthand knowledge of the conversation. I'm in that chat, I'm in that group, and I know what was said.
And it's just crazy to me that we are all adults, and this is the kind of shit that these people are doing. Like, grow the fuck up, like, really and truly. Like, how old are you? You know what I mean? Like, are you in kindergarten? High school? Where you are, oh, they said this and this and that, and we got to do this. Like, what the hell is the problem? Like, grow up, be a fucking man. You know what I mean? I remember when I was like 16, my dad told me not to be like a little bitch like that. You know what I mean? It was happened. I remember exactly. I went to the store with my dad, and some woman was walking by, and I opened the door for her, and she just walked and didn't say nothing. And I was like, oh, so you're not saying thank you? And my dad was like, nah, don't do that. You did what you had to do. If she didn't say thank you, that's on her. You don't have to be like a kind of a bitch and call it out. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And you learn that shit when you're a teenager, but you come on this platform and it's just childish bullshit. It's ridiculous, man.
Exactly.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Then I just kind of wanted to hit on that and talk about it, rather quickly. So the next thing I wanted to, it's a little lighter. Next thing I got for Nzo. It's gonna pull it up though once I get there. Do you like pitch meeting, right? How do you feel about pitch meeting? Pitch meeting.
The dude that makes fun of like
he does the pitch.
Yeah. I like it.
Okay, so have you seen the pitch meeting for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings?
No, I did not see that.
I was gonna say, well, if you want to pull it up, we can look at it.
Yeah, let's do it.
React to it. See if we think it's funny. I tell you, the best one that I think
was the Black Widow one.
I love the Cats one. No. The Cats one is If you've not seen the Cats one, you have to see it. It's absolutely a work of art.
I gotta watch that one too.
Yeah, it's so funny about the Jellicle cats and like just the weirdness of that movie. Like he hits on everything. I made it through 15 minutes of it.
Couldn't even.
It's strange. It's strange.
You want me to find it?
Yeah, the pitch meeting. Just look at pitch meeting. Yeah, Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I got it. Oh Lord, this is gonna be hilarious.
Has anybody in the chat seen this? Yes, Andre. It's because it's the internet. LOL.
All right, I got it up. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, gotta share my screen first.
Do it. Yep. Tony's here. How are you, Tony?
What's up? Glad you guys can make it.
Sam is here. Elias and on freaking Drea. Ugh. But anyway, we're going to watch this, the Shang-Chi pitch meeting right now. And we will let you know what we think, right? You ready, Nzo? You ready for this?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Are you guys ready to watch? Are you ready?
You guys, they're ready.
I was going to count down. He ran.
So you have a new Marvel movie.
Hold on.
Except all on my moment.
Yeah, I know. My bad. Do it again.
Like the excitement level is like a little. So you
Fake
ready?
it. Then.
You guys ready for this?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Go.
So you have a new Marvel movie for me? Yes,
Perfect
sir,
timing.
I do. And I figure this could be our first foray into the world of martial arts, other than that Iron Fist show we did. That never happened. No, it did. I remember with that guy from Game of Thrones? No, we never did that. So what's the movie? Well, sir, I figure we could do a movie about Shang-Chi and the legend of the 10 bracelets. Isn't it 10 rings? Yeah, but I thought it could look cool if they were worn around the wrists, and I think at a certain point a ring becomes a bracelet, scientifically speaking. No, I think at a certain point a bracelet becomes a ring, but then if a ring expands, it's always a ring. That sounds like it makes sense. Okay, 10 rings it is. Amazing. So what happens in the movie? Well, we're going to meet Shang-Chi, right? But he calls himself Sean, and he lives in San Francisco. Okay. And he's friends with this girl named Katie, and they work as valets together. How do we know they're best friends? Because one of her first lines is, "We've been friends for 10 years. Oh, best friends love stating how long you've been best friends with them. Yeah, they do. So they're in love, I imagine. I mean, one's a boy and one's a girl. No, they're just friends. Okay, so anyway, one day they're taking the bus together and Shang-Chi gets attacked by a bunch of assassins. Oh no. Yeah, so he's gonna suddenly reveal that he's like an insanely good martial artist and he's gonna have this incredible fight scene with them on this bus. Yeah, he's fighting some bad guys on a bus. Yeah, they're like doing martial arts and he's using the environment, he uses his jacket at a certain point. Oh, a relatively grounded, well-choreographed fight scene? That's actually refreshing. And the bus's brakes get cut and Katie has to drive the bus and Shang-Chi dives and the bus gets cut in half. Oh, there's the Marvel over the topness. Okay, gotcha. So Katie's like, "Hey, what's up with you secretly being a martial arts master?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm secretly a martial arts master, and I gotta go see my sister now." Oh, he does? Yeah, see, he got this postcard that he thinks is from her, so he needs to fly to China because he thinks she's in danger too. Gotcha. So he's like, "Bye, Katie, I gotta go." And Katie's like, "No, I'm coming with you." Oh, best friends love coming on dangerous adventures with you off of little to no information. Yeah, they do. So wait, why is Katie going? So we can have some comic relief around that people can explain things to. Oh, very helpful. Yeah. And so what happens when they get there? Well, we're going to meet Shang-Chi's sister, Xialing. And what's her deal? Well, after their mom died, their father, Wen-Wu, put Shang-Chi through torturous, brutal training for years, right? That's terrible. Yeah, but she wasn't allowed to train with the men, so, it was pretty unfair to her. Yeah, I mean, what a jerk of a father. How come she doesn't get the brutal torture? Oh, wait, I don't know how I feel about this morally. So since she couldn't train with them, she watched them and taught herself how to be even better than them. But how could she learn like the grabbing moves and stuff? Wouldn't she need people to practice with? No, not even. Oh, okay. So anyway, it turns out that Shang-Chi receiving a postcard was actually a setup by his father, and he has them both captured. Oh no. Yeah, so they head to his place because he wanted to basically reunite the family, and he thinks he knows how to bring their mom back from the dead using these pendants and a map and stuff. So why did he send assassins after them? Oh, well, he says he knew they wouldn't be able to kill his children.
Thank you,
so
David. Much
die so we can have some fight scenes in the movie. That's a good point. So what's this guy's deal anyway? Well, he's 4,000 years old. Oh my God. Yeah, and he has these 10 rings, and he leads a group called the 10 Rings. So what do these rings do exactly? Oh, all kinds of stuff, sir. They make you immortal. Also other things involving energy or something. Oh, that's pretty vague, man. Yeah, this way they can do whatever I want them to do from scene to scene. Smart. And so he's actually the real Mandarin, and that Trevor Slattery guy from Iron Man 3, that was his doing. Oh man, I love that we can retroactively make our unpopular decisions seem calculated and deliberate and important. It is pretty sweet that we can do that, sir. And so what are we saying the 10 Rings organization does exactly? Oh, they've been doing stuff for thousands of years, so immense you can't possibly fathom it, but also vague enough that you probably wouldn't have heard of it. Gotcha. God, how many underground organizations that secretly control everything are there in the MCU at this point? Thousands. Wow, yeah, maybe we should find a new thing. No. Okay. Anyway, so Wenwu explains that he's been getting these messages from their mother from the grave, and Shang-Chi's like, Dad, she's gone. You sound crazy. He doesn't believe that his father may have stumbled upon something crazy like that. No, sir. He's like, there's no way. You sound insane, Papa. He doesn't think that his 4,000-year-old immortal father could have possibly stumbled upon something in this vein. Doesn't even entertain the idea, and he's right. Oh, okay, great. So anyway, all the good characters get put in a cell because they don't want to cooperate. Oh man, it's going to be hard to get out of there. Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, Xiaoling had already escaped from there, and they're left unguarded, and Trevor Slattery is down there, and he can help them escape. Oh, wow, that is convenient. It is. And Trevor has this little furry mythical creature friend that makes little squeaking noises that only he can understand. How? Unclear. Okay, that's kind of weird, but I guess it could be fun if it's just a couple of, playful, semi-understanding back and forth. The creature's going to give precise driving directions that are crucial to the plot. Oh, it is. Okay. You see, they need to go to this place called Talo, where their mom is from, but they need to drive through a mythical forest to get there in a beautiful BMW. Okay, seems like you're probably getting a lot of money to specify that. So they get to this place and they find out that Wenwu's plan is actually really, really bad. Oh, it is? You see, this big friggin' soul-sucking demon called Dweller in Darkness is pretending to be their mom to trick Wenwu into releasing him. Oh, soul-sucking demons are tight. Well, no, they're not. You're right. I don't know what possessed me to say that. Anyway, so then Katie's gonna do a couple of hours of archery. Oh, that's nice. Just for fun or for the story? It's so she can have something to do in the third act. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, everything's been pretty much explained now, so at this point in a story, this kind of character either dies or picks up a new skill for the third act. That makes sense. So then there's going to be this big fight between the people of Talo and the 10 Rings with color-coordinated weaponry. Of course, blue versus red. Fantastic. And meanwhile, Wenwu's going to start punching this wall to try to release his dead wife, but he's actually releasing these tiny little soul-sucking demons. Oh, no. Yeah, so then all the human characters need to join forces and fight. An army of soulless CGI enemies that the characters can violently kill without the audience feeling weird about it. Exactly. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. And then Shang-Chi has to fight his father. Oh, wow, a grounded fight with very personal stakes. That's actually a nice change of... And they shoot colored energy blasts at each other, and a giant demon pops out, and a giant dragon pops out and fights it too. Oh, there's the Marvel over-the-topness. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and so Wenwu dies, and then the next 10 minutes are going to be just whatever the computer is able to render. Oh, they can render a whole visual mess of craziness. It'll be super colorful, but also somehow entirely gray. You know it. Amazing. So then Shang-Chi manages to kill the demon with the 10 rings and save the day. So what are the 10 rings exactly? Do we find out? Oh, stay tuned. We're going to have a post-credit scene where it's like, oh, these are probably made out of something that's going to be important eventually. Stay tuned. Nice. No better way to end a Marvel movie than with a commercial for future projects, and that should about do it, actually. What is that? That's just the Marvel movie checklist. There's a checklist? Of course there's a checklist, and you've done great, my friend. Big, messy CGI battle in the third act, secret evil organization, color-coded energy blasts. We got cameos from other Marvel movies. Trevor Slattery, Wong, and Abomination. Does the main character remove his shirt to reveal a six-pack at a certain point? He does. Yeah, great physique. Well, fantastic. If you could just add a tease that another Marvel character is off doing something important, that'd be great, too. On it. Hey, everybody. Ryan here. That's me. Thanks for watching the video. And if you liked it, feel free to click the like.
I love this.
Yeah, that was on point.
You see the Suicide Squad one?
I did see the Suicide Squad one
that
too.
Might be funny.
It was like, just want to say, David, thanks for the $2 super chat, much appreciated. What did you think about what he had to say about it, though?
I mean, it was fun. I mean, it's all in fun.
He's not wrong though.
I mean, I said it was a 7 out of 10.
He's not wrong though. That dragon fight at the end, that was just like, oh my
No,
god.
I said that it was a mess. The third act was absolutely a mess in that movie. Like, you're not going to hear me like out here campaigning and saying it's top tier, but was it a good origin story for a character? Yes.
Okay, so do you
see more of the character? Yes.
Do you think it's one of the best origin stories?
I mean, see, Iron Man's is the best.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't have that many, really.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think...
I mean, I guess we're thinking in a traditional sense, like, but we'll say first film, because some of them aren't technically origin in the class.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think Black Panther's an origin?
No, and I really don't think Homecoming is either. But
okay.
Well, if I'm just going with first film, no, it's definitely not. But like in the origin sense of like introducing us to the character in the classic sense of an origin film, it does enough to make me interested in the character. I mean, but we haven't had a whole lot of those origin movies either.
Well, what we have Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. What
Those
about
are the
Guardians?
Only true. Well, Guardians of the Galaxy, that's a team up film, but it's an origin story.
Guardians of the Doctor Strange.
Really for Star-Lord, Doctor Strange. No, so it's not better than Doctor Strange. It's not better than Iron Man. It's not better than Captain America. It's not better than Thor. I really wouldn't I mean, it's kind of Guardians is really Star-Lord's story, so overall. So I would say it's after Guardians. It's before Ant-Man.
Right. Forgot about Ant-Man too. Oh, definitely before Ant-Man. I got one for you though.
But I don't dislike the first Ant-Man movie. The second one,
neither do I. The second one's trash. The first one is not.
Paul Rudd is still great though in the movie. You know, just a different. You know, he's so different from Hank Pym, which is like good. But I would have liked to seen a Hank Pym Ant-Man though. What was you gonna say?
I said I got one for you.
Oh, you're trying to be a hater. Oh, you're being a hater. This is an honest trailer. I don't care about honest.
She helped Tony.
Oh no, this is the wrong one.
Helped Bruce reconnect with his humanity.
I got the wrong one. Oh, there's no pitch
He
meeting for
is
this?
messing it up. There is one.
There is one, right? Oh, is this there it is.
He's messing up, y'all.
Yeah, my bad. I clicked the wrong one. Okay, I knew it.
So you have a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. I was thinking we could do a Black Widow movie. Oh, did you not see Avengers Endgame? I have terrible news. No, I did see that movie, actually. Okay. Yeah, see, I figured we could set the movie a couple of years in the past, when it would have made more sense to make it. Oh, yeah, why did we wait so long to do this? Well, remember that whole leaked email situation with the old Marvel Studios?
This one you want to explain, right?
Like female-led making money, and he listed a bunch of examples. Nope, stop. But then Wonder Woman was a success, so I was asked to take a look at our female character roster again. Stop talking. Oh, sorry. Are we not saying that out loud? We're going to take that again, okay? Why did it take us so long to do this? I don't know. Oh, fair enough. Better late than never. Yeah. Tell me about the movie. Well, I figure we could get more grounded with the Black Widow movie, we're going to do a more grounded movie about the lady who jumped off a cliff on planet Vormir after a red-faced war criminal who's now a space ghost explained that was the only way to get her hands on the magic rock she wanted before a muscle-bound purple alien got it and completed his power glove. Yes. I love it. Well, great. So I figured we could have this whole big marketing campaign where ScarJo is like, you think you know Black Widow? think again.
So we're gonna learn a bunch of new stuff about her?
Like, how does she get that vest that she wears in Infinity War?
Oh, people love retroactively learning how characters they know got certain pieces of clothing we've seen them wear.
Oh, I certainly hope they do, sir, because we've been really leaning into that for the past 5 years or so.
We have, yeah.
We're also going to shed some new light on the character. Like, for example, did you know she went on a little adventure between Civil War and Infinity War?
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so it turns out when Natasha was a kid, she had like a fake family in Ohio, but they were actually Russian operatives living undercover.
Okay.
And then we're going to jump forward in time, and Natasha's on the run from General Ross because of the Sokovia Accords.
He's from some of the other movies.
He is. It's all connected. So she heads to the safe house in Norway and unknowingly picks up a little box of vials of antidote.
An antidote?
Yeah, see, it turns out her fake sister Yelena was also a widow operative being chemically controlled by this place called the Red Room, right?
Right.
And she ended up coming in contact with this stuff called the Red Dust, which freed her from her mind control agent.
Ah, gotcha.
So Natasha's unknowingly driving with this stuff, and suddenly a massive explosive hits her car and flips it a bunch of times.
Oh my God, is she okay?
Yeah, I mean, she's a superhero, right?
Yeah, but that sounds like something that would probably kill a non-superpowered being, and Natasha doesn't have superpowers.
Oh, yeah. Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Okay, so to be honest, now that I think of it, there were several scenes in this movie where as a non-superpowered individual, she should definitely be killed, but she's not gonna.
It would be better story-wise if she didn't die.
Yeah, because we already know when she dies anyway, so then she's gonna get attacked by this villain called Taskmaster.
Oh, people love that character. Very cool mimicking capabilities, entertaining personality.
Yeah, so I figure we could do like a Deadpool kind of thing.
Yeah, bring a character that people love to the big screen in an enjoyable way, sure.
No, I meant like a Deadpool and X-Men Origins Wolverine kind of thing.
Oh, turn the character into a mind-controlled killing machine with no speaking lines or personality traits. Yeah, that works too.
Great.
So then what happens?
Well, Natasha escapes with the vials and goes to see her fake sister, and they start fighting when they see each other.
Why?
Because it's been a couple of minutes since the last action scene.
Gotcha.
And so Natasha finds out that this bad Russian guy, Dreykov, who she thought she killed years ago, is actually still alive and still running the Red Room.
Okay.
And by the way, I was thinking we could get Ray Winstone to play him.
Oh, he's great. Can he do a Russian accent?
Doesn't matter.
It matters a little.
Nope. So then they realize they need to break their fake father Alexei out of jail because he probably knows where the Red Room is.
All right.
So then these guards fire hundreds of bullets at Yelena, who's in a helicopter, and Natasha jumps down to help her dad.
Very exciting.
So then they all manage to fly away just as an avalanche is just destroying the prison.
Well, thank God the hundreds of bullets didn't affect the helicopter in any way.
Yeah, it worked out great.
So I guess a bunch of people are probably killed in that avalanche, huh? Were they all bad guys?
Yeah.
You sure? I'm sure some of those guards were just people working there to try to feed their families.
Sir, we're on to the next scene, so don't worry about that.
Oh, okay.
So it turns out Alexei doesn't actually know where the Red Room is, so they have to go see their fake mother, Melina.
Okay, sure.
And it turns out she's still working for the Red Room, but then her and Natasha have a heart-to-heart, and that seems to change everything for her.
So what do?
Well, they secretly use those face mask things to swap appearances.
Well, why do they switch appearances?
Well, because this way Natasha can get close to Dreykov.
Does that work?
Now, he sees right through the disguise and pulls the mask off pretty much immediately.
Right, so why do they swap faces?
Well, because Melina's the one who designed the cells in the Red Room, so she's able to open them up.
Do you think maybe it might have been easier to just explain to Natasha how to open the cell instead of having her impersonate a woman she hasn't seen in several decades?
Maybe, but so now Natasha has to go up against Dreykov and Taskmaster, who we're going to reveal is Dreykov's daughter.
Oh. Okay.
No, see, this is kind of a big deal because Natasha always assumed she killed her when she was a little girl as kind of intentional collateral damage when killing Dreykov.
Natasha intentionally killed a child?
Yeah, well, the child didn't really die, so morally we're all good.
Well,
so then we're going to flash back to Melina explaining to Natasha that you can't actually hurt Dreykov.
Why?
Because he implemented a pheromone blocker in all the widows, so if you can smell him, you can't hurt him.
What?
It's basic science, sir. If you can smell him, you can't fire a gun at him.
Is that basic science?
It is, yeah, because that's why I wrote that in here.
So Natasha has to hold her breath?
No, because see, Melina explains that's not enough. You got to sever a nerve right here.
Couldn't she just kind of stand on the other side of the room, far away from him, fire a gun from there? Probably, though.
Pheromones.
Oh, very far-reaching pheromones, so it's going to be tough for her to hurt him, huh?
Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
You see, she smashes her face on a table, and that severs the nerve.
Oh, surgical head smashing is tight.
But so then Dreykov manages to bring in all the brainwashed widows, and they start attacking Natasha.
Oh no.
But then Yelena uses the antidote on all of them, and all their free will comes back.
Oh, very nice of her.
And Melina blows up a main engine of the Red Room sky base, so the whole thing starts to fall.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and then Yelena blows up the plane that Dreykov was trying to escape on.
And she was able to do that despite the pheromones?
Sure, and so then Black Widow dives after her as she plummets towards Earth, but Taskmaster starts attacking again.
And not one piece of the massive, actively crumbling sky base lands on them.
That's what we're going with. So then they land, but Natasha manages to use the antidote on Taskmaster, and so everything's great now.
So nobody died in the massive collapse?
Yeah, just every single one of the bad characters and not a single one of the good or redeemed characters.
Oh, well, great.
So then instead of escaping with her family, Natasha decides to stay behind and be captured by General Ross.
Oh, yeah, she can't go with her family. She's got to be in a couple of other movies.
So then 2 weeks later, she meets up with her friend who got her a Quinjet.
Wait, wasn't she just captured by Ross? What happened there?
I don't know.
Oh, fair enough.
And then during the credits, we're going to have this scene where Yelena is at Natasha's grave, and this character, Contessa Valentina, shows up with a mission for her.
What's the mission?
Sign up for Disney Plus.
Very exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting. People are going to be like, who is this character? It's going to be this big reveal.
Oh, that's going to be a big reveal. Really add a lot to the end credits, unless we decide to reveal it in a streaming show first.
What? Hey, everybody. Ryan here. Hope.
You see now. No, that one was on
That
point.
one was not as funny as the first one we just watched.
Really? You laughed? You laughed?
Which I did laugh, but I didn't laugh as near as much.
Why? Because you like the movie, right? Hey, what's up, Danny? How you doing?
I like both movies. It was just like the way he was describing it and like the things that he was saying, talking about make the computer do whatever it does, like, and all of that. Like when he started explaining, when he was like, so it's gonna be a grounded fight between you and your father. He's like, no, there's gonna be dragons and demons and all that. Like that. That's just hilarious. That one is funnier to me. Like he does them all the time, the movies that I like, and I still laugh. Like the Endgame one, I thought was so funny.
Yeah, he does a lot of those things he does are funny. What's up, Donnie? Donnie said, so you would not want to watch a so-called good movie again?
He just smells black. He just hears somebody. He can like hear people talking about Black Widow from like this. He could be in a whole other room, computer off, no headphones, and be like, "What, Black Widow?" and run. Right? Is that what we're doing? Sure, right on time, don't he? Right
He does.
Time.
Yep. But I mean, Shang-Chi is better than Black Widow, though.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
How? Tell me how.
Huh? The fighting, if you want to say the family element is kind of on par with Black Widow, right? The fighting in Shang-Chi is a lot better than Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi.
I'm just picking with you. Keep on going.
Shang-Chi. The fighting in Shang-Chi is a lot better than the fighting in Black Widow, that's for sure. And I think where Shang-Chi falls apart is the dragon, but when he's fighting his father and all that stuff, to me, I was like more like, oh shit, this is wicked. But when I seen Black Widow, I was just like, man, it's all right.
See, I feel like Shang-Chi is good, and then like it just as soon as they bring Trevor back in this movie, it just like brings it down so much. And then all that demon stuff in it, it just like it was a lot. It was just like it felt silly. But
the jumping through the air. The jumping through the air after
still not as silly. It does not compare to demons. Dragons, which I know it's all part of, but it was just a lot, especially when it seemed like the story, the way. I just wish that the Mandarin was a bigger villain. Yeah, I'm glad that he still learned in the end, and they could have done that if they didn't have all this other stuff that I felt like it made it a little too busy.
Okay, I can understand that, but like, where was the wow factor in Black Widow, though? Like, did you see anything in Black Widow that actually made you say, like, wow? Like Taskmaster was trash. Even when he says in the video, why couldn't she stand far away from him and shoot him? Right? That makes sense.
Yeah, I liked all that. Even I mean, things in Shang-Chi didn't make sense. Come on.
I'm not saying everything.
They do things to advance the plot. I get it. To me, that's a small thing. It's funny, like, to hear him describe it. Absolutely. Because, yeah, that's the plot. But, of course, it's more dramatic for her to smash her head on a table in an action film, right?
Okay,
but in the corner, 15 feet away and go bang, bang. Like,
no, I agree.
Or, I'm sorry, go blam, blam, blam. Or plow, plow, plow. Like, she's fucking... Happy from episode 5 of What If.
You laughed at that.
Come on.
Don't even talk about it. You said you laughed at that part, but we were talking about Shang-Chi though, right? So you're bringing in What If now you're pulling a nerd man.
I'm just saying. Sorry.
You're pulling a nerd man.
No, but Black Widow is a better film. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so where was the wow factor in Black Widow? What was the wow factor for you?
The wow factor was Scarlett Johansson, her performance. That's the wow factor. Sometimes a simple story, and it makes sense because, especially, it's a film. Yeah, it would have been great if we would have got this movie, 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I would have preferred that, right? But when I watch it, because I like to watch these movies, I'm a big MCU person. So the fact that even though I know where she ends up, seeing that time where, she was kind of going to revert back to that spy, on the run, by herself type of thing. And then see her go back to try to be the one to bring, the team back together and try to fix everything. I like that. And then it made sense even more so when we see her in Endgame, when she's sad in the beginning and when she makes that sacrifice. So I think it all fits together quite well.
I understand. I feel you.
I'm telling you, even though it's a film out of sequence, watch it, boom, 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 and see how you feel then.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it being out of sequence. That's not.
No, I'm saying, but I'm just saying sometimes when you see it again, all as the story flows as it should.
Oh yeah,
you might have a different perspective.
Nah, because it just didn't wow me. Like I left the movie like it was good.
Every film doesn't have to have this big epic moment.
They do. If there's Marvel superhero movie.
No, it did. They had a great action sequence at the end.
Yeah, where she's flying through the air.
Taskmaster was not great. Wild epic scene. You had the jail breakout. That was a big epic snow avalanche scene.
That killed a bunch of innocent people.
Oh, because you just watched the video that told you that. You're so tight. Look, no free thought over here on the.
Okay, Donnie had this. He said,
facts.
Before I get to the super chat, Donnie said, I definitely think Matrix is going to hurt Spider-Man's box office. What do you think of that?
I don't think so. It's going to be on HBO Max. More
yeah,
people are ready to go watch Spider-Man than they are Matrix 4. If anything, Spider-Man is going to hurt the Matrix, I feel. Because Matrix already is going to be dual release. Spider-Man is going to have that 5-day release already on them. So people might be going back that next weekend too, on top of the new people that are going to be going, because you're not going to be able to see Spider-Man No Way Home from the luxury of your home, right? There's no release for that movie. So Matrix, people who are slightly like, well, I don't really have to go to the movie theater. I can watch it at home on my HBO Max, and it's not behind a paywall. I can just sign in and watch it, right?
Yeah.
So I would not agree.
I completely forgot that it was coming on HBO Max because we talked about it earlier, and I was like, yeah, the trailer, it looks like it. But now that I realize it's on HBO Max, a lot of people are going to stay home and watch it, especially since the last 2 movies put a bad taste in people's mouth. They may not be willing to risk going to the theater to watch it when they can watch it at home. Duck Dodger sent a $2 super chat. Wow factor in Black Widow, her butt in that outfit.
That too. Yeah, all those butt shots.
Yeah, I had no problems with. I had no problems with the butt
Booty,
shots.
booty, 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 rocking everywhere.
They're
Yeah,
fine.
thank you.
Just didn't help the movie. Just didn't help the movie though. That's all. I didn't think so. But yeah. Anything else you had to say?
Parasite better than Shang-Chi. Take that, Robert Storms.
Actually, Parasite was better than Shang-Chi.
Parasite's a good movie.
I like Parasite. I thought it was really good.
Hey, look at Andrea. I thought of that.
Which one?
Captain Marvel, not the Black Widow part. Just take Black Widow out.
Mm-hmm.
There's slightly an argument there.
Captain Marvel's better than Shang-Chi? Yeah.
Let's watch both of them again.
Yeah. Danny said Black Widow.
The things that don't work in the third act, the stuff with Trevor Noah, right? I mean, I said Trevor Noah. Look at me. I'm not freaking dude on Trevor. That's who he basically is.
The comedian guy, yeah.
Trevor Satterley, the actor, you know, in Kingsley's character. Him, he comes in this movie and he just wrecks it, right? Like throws it completely off kilter. Then you have this weird CGI in this weird mystical village, and they don't explain things properly with that. And then you have this weird fight sequence, and then you have Katie's character who just miraculously, you know, she's an archer, right? I'm just saying, Andre, listen to this.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Captain Marvel, yes, lots of issues, lots of cheesy tropes in this movie about women having issues, right, with men, not believing in them. And you fall down and you get back up. You're a woman in the song, right? But Talos and Nick Fury are better side characters than any side character in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Okay,
I'll give you Nick Fury.
You get slightly wooden performances at times, and I like the guy. Okay, they play Shang-Chi. Slightly wooden. Brie Larson is wooden because Carol Danvers as a character is a wooden character, right? So I'm just saying, think about it.
So would you say that because Captain Marvel is an origin story, you think that's on par with Shang-Chi?
No, because part of an origin story for me that makes me engage in the story is if I like the character, if I like motivations of the character. Right now, she's very weak. You know what I'm saying? As a character, and as an origin story, I don't care. To me, right now, and I don't see her as a true hero. Even she's still this soldier, and just, you know, has this attitude. But that's Carol Danvers, right? And we're just gonna get more of that. That's why her next movie is gonna be filled with so many other people. But that's pretty close to how she is, guys. I mean, Carol Danvers is not, you know, this magnetic, great character. I mean, her comics didn't do very well because a lot of people didn't gravitate to them. And then Civil War II, she was such a big character in that, and it made it trash, really.
So before I get to Donnie's question, I'll ask you this because Captain Marvel made $1 billion. Do you think that's only because it was sandwiched in between Infinity War and Endgame?
That in the marketing, I mean, it was the first like MCU female, you know, solo film. I mean, not headline because Ant-Man and the Wasp came first. So I think that along with some people who just wanted to see it because like Brie Larson says crazy outlandish things in the controversy, right? I don't know how many of those people factor, the normal MCU people, and then the MCU people who maybe casually, you know, see the big films and think I need to see this movie because, you know, it's tied because of the last thing I saw in Infinity War too, you know. So I think it was all that, the hype of all these things, but I think it was mainly based off of those two things. The fact that it was in between these, you know, big Avenger films, the culmination of the Infinity Saga.
And this is what Danny said, so you can respond to this one. Black Widow is supposed to be based more in the real world. Shang-Chi is based more in the supernatural world. Expectations and plot devices are going to be so much different. One can be sillier than the other.
I mean, like, I don't have any issues hardly with humor within the MCU. I'm like one of the biggest MCU fans ever. They both exist in the real world, right? And then he goes into this mythical world. So, but what I'm saying to you is when we see him, most of the story, he's existing in this very real world, right? And then it just seems like it flips on its head, and it seems like that part of the movie doesn't fit with the overall, at times, the film the first part of the film. That's a part of my issue. And Trevor, there's nothing wrong with being funny and silly, right? And making me laugh. But if it's just like it went on for too long, like he could have been in that scene, gave them, you know, and gave them some information and been off. But he really brings it down because he continues throughout the movie. Katie learning to be an archer can be just, no. The difference between Falcon and Katie is Falcon is a decorated war hero. He was a paratrooper, right? He was in a he was a special operative in the military, right? He's been training and doing this for years at this point. So that is more believable and understandable that he can then work the shield, right? Katie here is a person who, yeah, she excels at a lot of things that she does, but she is not someone who is well-versed in the art of combat. So for me, that's why that makes no sense. And when Sam does it, it makes sense because of his record. And we know where he comes from as a character from the military as this paratrooper who was, you know, a special ops and as part of a special organization. You know, this is what he did for years.
Gotcha. Well, Danny, there you have it. What do you think about that? I did find her learning to be the archer, like doing that so quick. I was like, meh. But then again, I always said, like, some people are just natural at some stuff they do. So it's just possible that she was a natural. Plus, for plot point, they had to keep her in the movie. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I
get it. Like, I don't mind her becoming skilled and maybe, you know, but it was just the shot that she was able to make at the time. I felt it was so convenient and just like I felt like if it was going to be anybody other to aid him in that moment, even though it would have been something different, it should have been his sister. Because even though her learning how to fight, maybe at times it makes sense. She had already been doing this for so long. Like she had her underground fight ring, all these things, you know? So if she would have been able to control, subdue it, for me, it'd been like, oh yeah, that makes absolutely sense, you know? But just Katie doing it, I understand the connection that she has with him, and maybe that drives her to do it, you know, because she loves and cares for him and wants to help. If he does, I'm out. Take it. I don't think Katie will actually be in the Avengers.
I don't think so either.
But I think we might see her on the outskirts if like it gets to like the final film or kind of close to the ending of a specific story that they're trying to tell, possibly as a big team up. Yeah. But in the bigger thing, I doubt she'll be an Avenger. And if she is, I'm done. Like, I'm telling you, Aquafina, not an Avenger, please. Thank you.
So wait, because I don't think we've seen the last of Trevor Slattery. I really don't think we've seen the last of him. He's gonna pop up somewhere else.
Oh, he's gonna be in all the Shang-Chi movies. Like, that's where he's gonna be, guys.
I believe
he's gonna be
so
in the next one because now he's there in the village. Next time they go back to the village,
he's gonna still be there.
And like he's gonna be with this little furry creature thing that he talks to, he might not be in it as much, but he's still going to exist. And like it would have been a cute little joke if it just went on for way too long.
So
Monica Rambeau, I can see her being an Avenger, and I don't mind Monica Rambeau being an Avenger. I like Monica Rambeau as a character.
Facts, bring her to be an Avenger. So you said if they make Katie or Trevor Slattery an Avenger, you are done. You won't watch any more Marvel movies?
Yeah.
You won't watch any more Marvel movies?
I won't. I won't watch the team up ones. I won't watch the Avenger ones. Like, to me, that's just, no, we can't do that.
I don't think they would do that either, but I wouldn't see you stop watching. You'd hate it, but you would still be watching those Avenger movies like 4 or 5 times.
I could not sit through watching Trevor Satterley be
what up, MSK?
No.
Danny said, Ashi, Trevor is Hercules, Mr. Satan from Dragon Ball Z.
Huh?
I have no idea because I don't watch Dragon Ball Z, so I have no
Kingsley
idea.
is on Hercules?
Yeah, I don't know, I guess. But Dragon Ball Z sucks anyway, so it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Trevor is just like Hercules, Dragon Ball comedy relief. Oh, okay. So he's saying they're just the same. I don't know, man. I think they should have killed him. To be honest with you, you know what I mean? He should have died, or they should have just had that one little 2-minute scene with him or whatever, and then that was it. Because that car scene is just, even though I like when they're driving through the forest and everything, I thought it was cool. It's just all the little jokes and shit, and him was just like annoying. He said, what am I smoking? Why? Because they should have killed him? No, you damn right they should have killed him. Or did I say Dragon Ball?
So he liked Trevor Satterley through the whole movie, Danny?
Probably did. It probably did. And it's funny because Donnie like hates Guardians of the Galaxy. So all that jokey stuff in there, he hates it.
Guardians of the Galaxy is good.
Yeah, top 5. Or top 10 at least. That's for sure. You have Black Widow in your top 5, don't you, though?
Yeah. It's like maybe we're right outside. Like I had to redo my my list again because things have changed. Movies have, because there's new films, and so I just want to rework my whole list again. But there's number 1 is the Avengers. That's not going to change. Number 2 is definitely, it's hard. Like Civil War and Winter Soldier go back and forth, but I think Civil War is number 2 right now. Winter Soldier is number 3. Man, I need to think some more.
Absolutely not, Donnie. It's definitely not. It's not 24. You cannot tell me that Black Widow is not better than Iron Man 3. You know what I mean? Like, no.
He's just talking so poorly about my movie. I think the last time I ranked it at like number 6.
You ranked it at
but
6?
There's a little slightly shift in a few other things, I think. Because I've rewatched a few things, and I think I'm moving Doctor Strange up from number 7, maybe in the top 5, maybe.
I can see Doctor Strange up there
because I really like Benedict, and I really like the movie. But number 4 is probably Infinity War.
Damn. Infinity War is number 1.
Not for me. I have some issues with it.
Yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? Some people have issues with it, but for me, like,
it's really silly at times. Really, really silly at times. And you talk about like, of all times when we shouldn't be silly, is in this movie.
Okay, but can you give me one Marvel movie that's not silly at times?
Yeah, Winter Soldier, Civil War is really not like that. And they're the later ones. So like when I'm not gonna say Iron Man because they're always like, oh, that's the beginning. But those two are not really silly. Infinity War to
can give
me
you
at
those
times
two.
felt very silly in moments. Now, if I'm just like being like my crazy by itself, it goes Avengers, Endgame, Infinity War. That's how it will go. Because like Endgame gives me every payoff, everything that I would want. You know,
Right.
Avengers Assemble, seeing Cap like pick up the hammer, stuff like that.
Wait,
It
hold
has
on.
so much fan service.
That's your top
Tony,
5, Danny? Endgame, Infinity War, Shang-Chi, Civil War, and Winter Soldier? Didn't we have a conversation just the other day where you told me Shang-Chi was not better than Black Panther, but you don't have Black Panther in your top 5? What? Nah, that list is wrong, Danny. You gotta do that over again. And then Iron Man next? Nah, you gotta do that list over again, bro. I'm sorry. All those movies I listed are better than Black Widow. Oh, okay. What do you think of that?
I mean, I agree that in Infinity War is better, Civil War is better, Winter Soldier is better. Endgame, slightly better. I mean, I can't disagree, but I don't agree Shang-Chi is better. Absolutely not.
Okay, so that's the only one on the list you don't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's not a problem.
I
So
think Black Widow is slightly better than Black Panther.
Ooh,
just because
really?
of the CGI. Yeah.
Okay, I can give you that because the CGI.
But I love Black Panther as a movie. Like, I'm not one of those people that thinks it's overrated or, it's not a good movie.
I don't think it's overrated or one of those things. I hate when people say that. I think it did what it was supposed to do, and a movie that makes over $1 billion, I'm not gonna.
The only reason why for me, even though it slightly is Inception like, the reason why I think I'm almost gonna put Doctor Strange over Black Panther is I love the way that Wakanda looks, right? But from a CGI standpoint, it falls apart. Where Doctor Strange through the whole film, it was such a task to take it on, with all the different dimensions, the mirror dimension, and the way it looked visually was just was great. And then Benedict was, great as Doctor Strange too. So that's might be why it might slightly set. It's like between the two of them, I go back and forth.
Gotcha.
Too.
What
So it's
ratings?
hard. After I get past number 3, it's so hard for me to make my list and stick to that list because at times I feel differently and I put other ones after those 3 in the top 5.
Because unlike normal people who watch the movie once or twice, Ashley watches them like 40 times and is like, oh, you know what? This one is better than this one. And then 2 weeks later, now I was wrong. I'll switch it back and shit. So I get it.
You know what I watched yesterday?
What you watched yesterday?
The season finale of Lucky.
You watched Okay. Well, how many times is that now? 50?
It's probably, I think, 40 less. 46.
Can you recite the show now?
Yes, I can. I can recite it. I'm not going to do it here. I'm not going to show my nerd too much, guys. I mean, I typed a whole quote from the show within 5 seconds on Twitter, like, because I know it, You came to kill the devil. I keep you safe. I know like all that stuff, yes.
Here's one for you. What rating do you give Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man, out of 10. I'd say it's a 7 out of 10. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is an 8 out of 10.
Whoa.
I like Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Everybody knows that.
Oh, I'll take your I'll take your Ant-Man, but Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is like a 5.
I love Yondu. I love everything that I love Yondu's story in the film. Ego is not great, but Yondu just to me it outdoes all of what's wrong with him. I think it's so good that anything that I have an issue with Ego is outweighed by Yondu's character in the movie. For me.
Gotcha.
I still don't really care for Gamora. I've never cared for Gamora. I probably never will. Seeing more of Nebula, I like her character. I think she's a compelling character. I think she's interesting. I like her childlike nature. And to see her storyline, so I enjoyed it. So yeah. Mantis, this version of Mantis is weird, but you know.
Very weird. I think what they did to Drax kind of destroys that movie.
Well, I mean, that was already in the first film.
Who?
Drax was in the first movie.
Yeah, I know, but in the first film, he was like more serious. In the second one, they made him comic relief.
Though.
Not as much as he was in the second one.
Yes, he was.
No,
like it was the fact that he took everything literal, but he was still a joke.
Right, exactly.
It was still funny. It was played as jokes, though.
But it was
more than Nzo.
When he's standing there and he's like, "I'm trying to be invisible." I'm like, really? Like, you know what I mean? But Danny sent a $2 super chat. This is for you. What the fuck are you smoking, Ashley? Black Widow better than Black Panther?
I just told you why, Danny. Danny the Manny.
Ashley, can you recite the alphabet for the audience?
Why
please?
Do you want me to say the alphabet? I'm not going to appease you. You don't hear me say a bunch of country stuff? Is that what you're trying to get me to do?
I think that's what he wants you to do. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 will start filming in November. It's James Gunn. I'm a little worried about it because he likes to go a little bit too far. I liked what he did with Suicide Squad, but Guardians of the Galaxy 2 I just did not like at all. Like, horrible. And give you a belly rub. Oh, he wants to give belly rubs too? Ashi, I'm so proud of you, even though I disagree on Guardians 2. What are you proud of? That she likes Black Widow better than Black Panther? No, you can't. Nah, I can't do that. You're just slinging those hot takes out with full confidence. Yeah, she's been drinking fucking Nerdman's Kool-Aid, man. First K-Dots.
These are how I feel about the MCU stuff. Like, if y'all want my opinion, maybe you think of my opinions are outlandish. That's why I always say it's the ramblings of a mad woman, right? And that's that.
I don't know, man. I'm just like, okay. See, Black Panther is in my top 5. I think it's number 5. Infinity War, number 1. Civil War and Winter Soldier, you can interchange those two. And I think Iron Man is up there or something like that.
Iron Man is really, really good. You know, so good. Such a good movie. But I think other ones came along and just outdid that one. But I remember how I felt when I saw it. I cried, like the fact that Iron Man was on screen.
Thanks, Danny. Appreciate it. Have a good night. You cried when Iron Man was on the screen?
Yes.
The first time you seen Iron Man?
Yes, like when I watched the movie, I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Yeah.
It's not like we haven't had superhero movies before.
But not Iron Man.
Yeah, but I mean,
I love. You understand?
So Iron Man's your favorite superhero?
Well, Black Widow and then Iron Man. They're like almost so close. It's like they're.
That's why you love the Black Widow movie so much.
You were. Where have you been? My channel is The Widow. They call me. I mean. Oh, Nzo. Anybody want to help him here?
I'm a little slow.
Anybody want to help him here? This dude is lost. He's lost. It's over. No more.
When he was
Cut
saying
it
the way
out. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. No more night talk for Nzo. It's over.
If
I could Phantom Zone you right now, you would be in the depths of the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, I'll do. I'll do it because I'm sitting here and I'm like, the widow. Okay, I thought it was because of personal stuff. You know what I mean? Like I didn't realize it was because of Black Widow all this time. I think I deserve another friend.
And all that.
Wow. Yeah, my bad. Shit. Okay. So
Crazy there. Crazy.
it makes sense now. It makes sense.
Right? It's insane. Gosh. I can't believe you.
Oh my god.
I wear black, I got a red light. It's Ashley, aka the widow. Like I talk about their character a lot. Like
it did not ring a fucking bell at all until now.
He's over going when I'm talking. He's not listening to nothing.
Oh my god, yeah.
Wow.
I did. I had no idea. And I'm like, now that I'm thinking about it, everything adds up now, right? Because now you're realizing it's like, yes, it makes fucking sense. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Fun.
Absolutely. I know LDG wanted to talk about the Matrix, but I don't know how long you want to go for, so it's up to you.
Well, I had about like 11 minutes.
11 minutes? Yeah, we can bring. Let's see if he wants to come in for 11 minutes and talk about this trash movie.
Wait, now it's 10. I have to 1 o'clock. Where is he?
I know he was on another. He was on another stream. He said he was almost done. So if he comes in before we close it up, no problem. Just to let you guys know that NBA 2K22 has dropped tonight. So
you're getting ready to play it.
When this stream is done, yeah, I am going to play some 2K. I will probably be streaming that, of course, like I always do.
I saw that you said it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did said it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to stream this one.
You best lose, ain't you? You going to play with your son or you playing by yourself?
No, I'm going to play by myself. I'll probably play someone online. I got to wait for my son to get it for the PS5 because he's going to buy it for the PS5 and then we share the game. But yeah, a couple people got it early and we're dropping it today and we're playing it all day today. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to wait. So I'm going to play it. So Boston City's trash in 2K. Oh,
my son plays it. My son got it. So.
Yeah, you told me that. You said your son would be willing to play me. I'm willing to stream a game against your son.
All right, I will let him know. Yeah,
but just
right now football's, but I'll see what we can do. He will.
But just know that if I start to lose, internet connection kind of fucks up.
Rage quitting. Well, you might get some rage quitting from him if he loses by chance. I'm telling you.
He does that too.
He when he was younger, he used to do it. And it's sad, like when you think about it, but it's obviously in the context of the game. So don't think that he means literal what I'm about to say before people say some shit, right? So when he was 5, we used to play. He loved playing on his Wii, right? And we played Mario. And there was this one board he couldn't get through, and me, myself, my mother-in-law, and my husband, we would play with him, right? He was 4. He might not even been 5 yet, right? I mean, I don't even think he was 5. And we would play, and he couldn't make the jump. So you know how you go in the little bubble or whatever, and he would go, I'm just gonna kill myself. He would say it every time he'd get upset or in the game or something bothered him, he go, well, I'm just gonna kill myself. And it's this little 4-year-old, it's so country. He's like, well, I'm just gonna kill myself. But every time. And we would be dying laughing because he would say that. So every 20 minutes you heard, well, I'm just gonna kill myself.
So one day I was playing my kid in some 2K, right? and I have my ex over here and her daughter was there. So we're like, yeah, let's play some 2K. So we're playing this game in front of them. They're just chilling, watching us play. And he is whooping my ass and he is talking shit. He's like, oh, you don't want none of this. I kid you not. He was at like 30 points within the first quarter, right? I couldn't do nothing. And he just kept talking and talking and talking. So I was like, yo, Reem, shut up, please. He's like, nah, you can't take this. And I was getting fast. I'm like, shut the fuck up. And he wouldn't shut up. So, right, I grabbed the joystick from him and I was like, just, bounce. So he went to go in his room and he was like, oh, you're so pathetic. And I took that controller and I flung it and it just missed his head. Boom, smashed against the wall. I was pissed,
Like,
bro.
I remember one time, like, my son was playing with my brother. This is one time he was playing with my brother. And like he was killing my brother, like killing by like 20 points. And then all of a sudden my brother just like came back on him. Like this dude just started crying, like his face was beet red, like jumping up and down. I was like, boy, you still got you down by 4 points. Just jumping up and down. I said, calm down. Now you down by like 10. But you got 4 minutes. You got this. And he done lost by 30-some points because he just kept just jumping up and down. Snot flinging probably and tears everywhere. I was like, what are you? I'm really like, it's like me. I'm being mama over here. It's not the end of the world. I should be like, well, you're losing. You know me. I'm like, oh, it's okay. You got this. Win this game. I believe in you. Like, I'm literally like doing that. Like, I have faith that you can win. You got this. And, I tell you.
I don't blame him because these games be doing that. The same thing happened to me. I was up on my son. I was like 30 points up and I'm smoking him. The first half is done and I'm just talking shit. And in the second half, he's like just scoring and I couldn't score. And he comes back and you get mad because the game is fucking with you. It's not the fact that he's good. It's the game fucking with you. You get pissed, man. And he knows when that starts to happen and then he starts talking. Yeah, man, we've had many battles over that damn 2K game, bro.
Yeah. That's how it was. That's how it was with kid. That's how it was. I know. And then like he would be like, well, I should have picked a different team. He's like, you picked that team, boy.
You see, that's the thing. I always pick the same team. So he's like, oh, you're always picking the same team. So what do you want, man? And he like LeBron James. So whatever team LeBron was on, he'd take that team and he got a stacked team and shit. And he's just like, oh, you see, and I'd be like, oh, it's because your team is better. It would be war. It would be war with that game. Ashley, can I hold like 500?
Nah. We in pandemic. Huh?
I mean, hey man, I'm monetized. If you want to throw some $500 on the channel,
Can I hold?
No, I know he can. He said he can hold it, but I'm like, if you want to dish out, then maybe you might get an opportunity to hold some shit. You got to give before you can receive. That's what I'm saying. But with that being said, guys, LDG is not there, so we'll talk about Matrix another day. We will close it up for the night. Ashley, tell the people about your channel one last time, please.
The Widow, TheWido, and yes, it stands for Black Widow, ladies and gentlemen. And that's that. Sub if you want to. Come listen to us talk. Nzo will be there sometimes for show.
Absolutely. And I know that was a little knock on me. Yes, it is the Black Widow. That's what it is, guys. I know it now. Stuck there in the brain. But yes, make sure you sub to her channel and everybody else that we chill with, man. Everybody has great content and stuff like that. MSK, K-Dots, Paul, all those guys, man. LDG, appreciate it. That being said, peace. See you next week.